Hello again, book lovers. And it's history time again with Michael Wood, who seems to have a very wide range of subjects under his belt. This book is called Conquistadors. Conquistadores, as we would say here in Spain. The Spanish explorers and the discovery of the New World. Well, yes, I liked it. Having read quite a bit about this theme, it's nice to have a refresher. And the book does include some Aztec and Inca sources, as well as verbatim texts from the accompanying clerics and priests and soldiers of the conquistadors. There are 4 stories, broadly speaking, here. The first tells how Cortes and, Montezuma, or Moctezuma, or Motahekethuma, which apparently is what he was called, the strange story of the capture of this Aztec ruler and his house imprisonment. If you don't know these stories, this book is a good introduction to them. After Cortes, we get the conquest of the Incas by Pizarro, and then later on Pizarro's brothers' explorations, which include the journey of Francisco Orellana, who went off to get food when they were in a bit of a sticky situation, and they didn't see him again. But what happened after? Well, I'm not going to give you a spoiler, nor will I on the concluding story, which is Chapter 6, The Adventure of Cabeza de Vaca. We don't learn anything about Cabeza de Vaca's previous history, which might be worth going into. However, here we find him in a desperate situation, and we track his 2,500-mile walk to salvation. I liked this part the best, as it's not often covered. Especially, as usual, the little details, like he didn't have any shoes on. He was accompanied by quite a few Indians who then, the conquistadors, when they saw them, they didn't know what to make of them. They wanted to capture them and enslave them. Of course, Cabeza de Vaca wasn't very fond of this idea, and that led him into a conflict. However, he survived. That's not a spoiler, because he's written the story and we've got it. Well, I should say he wrote it many, many years later, while in Spain. He then hops between Spain and the Americas, trying to find some sense in his life, and it all ends rather badly for poor Cabeza de Vaca, who seemed to be one of the more humane of the conquistadors, if you even count him as a conquistador. In any case, that's a little flavour. It's a rollicking read. It's just under 300 paperback pages long, and if you didn't know it was history, you could read it as an adventure novel, which is kind of why I read history.